Hey, the album's like been out for a couple of hours now. How are
Yeah,
you?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
I have been celebrating, and yeah, I'm enjoying it. I love the Elvis picture that you have in the background. It's
Thank
fantastic.
you. It's to cover my dirty laundry.
There we go. There we go. We all need an Elvis picture to cover up our dirty laundry.
Absolutely. So it's been strange days for you guys, and the album title just really sums up how everyone's feeling. Let's start at the start. You guys have been the busiest band I think I've ever met. I remember when you guys first came into the station almost 2 years ago with Body Talks and that first tour. It was the busiest schedule I think I've seen for a band. And you were like, yeah, this is just normal. What do the Struts do when they're not playing a million shows?
We fantasize about playing a million shows.
I bet.
Um, Gosh, I don't know. I mean, it has been lovely spending a lot of time here at home and spending some real quality time with the family and whatnot. But at the end of it, we're always kind of in the back of our heads, kind of like really wanting to get back out on the road. And it's just the way we are. It's just the way we are. You know what I mean?
You don't know it any other way. I know. I worry for the bands. I worry for me. I go to about 4 gigs a week. So it's very strange days indeed. Now the album is finally here. I feel like you've been leaking this album since you first got into the studio. Tell me about the process. We've seen a little bit. We've seen the snot test with the swipes up the nose. How was it? Was it really that instant where you guys were like, the world's going to shut down, panic mode, we just need to get this done?
It was really kind of a case of we were doing quarantine radio and we were doing Sunday service and anything that we could to kind of like stay interactive with the fan base. And yeah, like Los Angeles basically went into proper lockdown about a week or so before the kind of conversations of like doing some sort of EP or whatnot came into effect. And yeah, we just kind of like got into the studio and we took all the proper precautions, you know, we all got tested and the producer including and we just camped up in the producer's house and we just kind of like thought to ourselves, well, what will be and let's see what happens. And funny enough, what turned into a project of like maybe we'll come out with 3 or 4 songs, we came out with like 9 and a cover. So it was incredible, extremely prolific.
It's an amazing record, and you have called on some insane guests to be on this record. The first we heard was Tom Morello. I'm pretty sure he leaked it before you guys, which to have someone like Tom Morello, the heaviest rock guitarist, play on your album is a massive call. And then we have the guys from Def Leppard. And then on the other hand, you've got Robbie Williams. Are you honestly just friends with all these guys?
I am. They're all my chums, honestly. We're the only we're the only band that could ever have Robbie Williams and Tom Morello on the same record.
100%. And it sounds good. It's confusing, but suits very well. So, is it as simple as just getting them on speed dial and going, hey, Joe Elliott, remember Luke from the Struts? Yeah, yeah, you're bragging about us on TMZ. Yeah, yeah. Do you want to be on our new album?
Honestly, it is as simple as that. Like Joe, for instance, and Phil from Def Leppard have been massive supporters of us for many years. And yeah, I just kind of just hit Joe up and was like, look, do you want to be involved in anything? If anything kind of comes from this 10-day session, and same with like Albert Hammond Jr. and same with Robbie Williams. same with Tom Morello, and they all said, yeah, man, like, let's get involved. And God, I'm just so glad that we accumulated the amount of material that we needed, because God knows where we would be without it. But yeah, I mean, one after the next, they all said, yeah, we're willing to get involved. And that was it. It was fantastic. Fantastic.
I just love that idea. I mean, if your phone was to ever go missing, some rock fan would be very, very lucky to find it.
Oh God, would you really want to find my phone? I mean, if my phone went missing, I might be under criminal charges.
All right, that is a strange conversation we don't want to go down. Now, listening to the album, it all sounded very familiar. And then I heard a song that sounded too familiar. And then I was like, hang on. So you've taken on Kiss's Do You Love Me?
Yes.
Have you?
Now, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is the version that I was obsessed with was Girl's version of that specific song. And my original intention was to have Joe Elliott and Phil Collins sing and play on that song, because Phil was the guitar player for Girl. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool to kind of like have everything come full circle? And yeah, they'd politely declined. And I'm so glad that they did, because I threw them, I hate how much I want you afterwards. And they were like, yeah, this is more like it. This is more like it. So they ended up doing that. But I did love, and I still do love, the Girl version of Do You Love Me? And it was a song that I had on my reference playlist for the album itself, which every artist kind of like has. I do anyway. I kind of have like I accumulate a bunch of songs that I want to have like sound like a record, or use as references in terms of sonics and whatnot. And that was the song that was there. And yeah, it just kind of was. I remember we'd written about 6 songs, and we were kind of like starting to second guess ourselves the first time. And I was just like, look, boys, let's take the day off. Let's get pissed up. So we got a bunch of beers, and then the next day we just recorded Do You Love Me, just for the fuck of it.
And it's on the album. And from somebody that's seen you guys play live a bunch of times and heard the records inside out, I think that Strange Days has finally captured the live energy that the Struts pull on the stage, and all of your influences of classic rock and those rock glam stars. Well done, Luke. It's really got everything in 10 tracks.
Thank you so much. I mean, I would second that.
You've got to second that. It's your baby.
Yeah, don't I? Well, no, I would say that Strange Days is like a result of a burning desire of the band to kind of like create, like, quote, like a live record. And then on top of that, a band that's been playing on the road for like 6 years straight. And you can kind of feel that in the record itself. So I'm extremely happy.
Good. Now, I did say that the Struts were one of the first bands to play a drive-in gig, which looked very awkward. How did it feel?
Well, I can tell you it was better than doing nothing. For sure. I mean, I tell you what, if that's the way that 2021 is going to pan out, then I'm all for it. Whatever. Like, it's not the usual circumstances that we would be playing shows, but nevertheless, it's great to get out there. The band still gets to get together on stage. We still get to play songs and whatnot. And depending on the circumstances, it normally sounds fantastic. So I'm up for it. If we're going to do a drive-in tour, let's do a drive-in tour in Australia, hit Melbourne, hit Sydney, hit everywhere in between. I'm down for it. I miss my Aussies.
Yeah.
I miss I miss you.
Oh,
I
we
miss
miss you
partying with you.
too.
The last time I partied with you, I left my wallet at a bar.
Well, lucky it wasn't your phone.
Well, it was my fucking phone as well. It was my US phone, my cards, my even my passport. And this is the weird thing. My guitar tech had the shits, and he managed to stay behind, grab my bag with my phone and my cards, and he flew to the next show in Australia. And luckily, he'd saved it all. So there we
Well, I
go.
hope he has a credit in the liner note because he deserves a medal. Luke, we've got to wrap it up. Thank you so much for the chat. It's great to see you again. Thank you for
And you,
always bringing the rock back. We love you guys here at Triple M.
thank you so much. Thanks for having me.